It's the romance that's captured the world's imagination.
Millions of us are expected to watch the big day.
The commoner who captured a prince's heart.
As Prince William and Catherine Middleton prepare to spend the rest of their lives together, this is the story of two very different upbringings.
May we see your son, Your Royal Highness?
The boy who was born to be king.
This was the golden child, you know, this was the pictures everybody wanted.
A childhood touched by tragedy.
Diana, Princess of Wales, has been killed in a car accident.
Whenever I see an image of the princes behind Princess Diana's coffin, I imagine everybody feels like I do, devastated at the level of their loss.
And the girl who rose from humble beginnings to become one of the world's most famous women.
She hasn't really changed that much since I was in, primary school.
Every single boy couldn't take their eyes off her. She was completely stunning.
This is how fate and an eye-catching dress brought them together.
Kate was up on the catwalk looking amazing and certainly turned quite a lot of heads.
I think at the heart of it is a normal love story. It's the idea that it could have happened to anyone.
It's the story of a royal couple who will define the future of the British monarchy.
When I first met Kate, I knew there was something very special about her.
It was a total shock. Very excited.
It's official, there will be a royal wedding next year. Clarence House has announced that Prince William and Kate Middleton are engaged.
On the 16th of November 2010 came the announcement the nation had been waiting for.
A great day for our country, a great day for the royal family, and obviously a great day for Prince William and for Kate.
The most eagerly awaited royal wedding in 30 years.
We've been talking about it for a long time, so for us it's a real relief, and it's really nice to be able to tell everybody. It's my mother's engagement ring. This is my way of keeping her sort of close to it all.
It is very, very special.
So how did a normal middle-class girl find herself the future queen? Was it fate? Or simply a case of being in the right place at the right time?
I actually went bright red when I met you and sort of scuttled off, feeling very shy about meeting you.
The story begins 29 years ago. 1982 was the year of the Falklands War. Back home, unemployment had risen above 3 million. But amidst the doom and gloom came a welcome distraction.
The crowds began to gather just after 8 this morning, and they've stayed here all day in alternate sunshine and showers.
Prince Charles and Lady Diana Spencer had married amid euphoric scenes the previous summer. Now the nation waited expectantly for the arrival of their first child.
I think there was a mood of celebration. There was a great deal of optimism still at this stage for the married couple, for Charles and Diana.
Would you like to see a baby boy or a baby girl?
I would like her to have a boy, and I should think if she's having all this trouble, it's a boy.
Crowds gathered outside Buckingham Palace throughout the evening. Then at 10:25, their patience was rewarded with the formal notice of the birth.
Weighing in at 7 pounds and 1½ ounces, Prince William of Wales was born just after 9 p.m. on Monday the 21st of June.
At St Mary's, Paddington, their euphoria overflowed into song.
Royal princes and princesses are traditionally born at palaces, but not for Prince William. He was born in a hospital, and he was born at St Mary's in Paddington. And that was really the start of Diana's decision to give William a normal upbringing.
The baby prince made his first public appearance, aged just a day old.
May we see your son, Your Royal Highness?
Prince Charles came out and he was so excited, and I remember climbing over the barrier and going up, shaking his hand and saying congratulations, and he was so happy. It was just unbelievable.
That same week, in the more tranquil setting of rural Berkshire, there was another celebration taking place. the christening of baby Catherine Elizabeth, the first child of Carol and Michael Middleton.
Kate was christened that June in the local church, which is on the River Pang. Her mother wore a Laura Ashley dress, which was very fashionable at that time, and her father wore a traditional dark suit.
While Prince William grew up in the grandeur of Kensington Palace, Kate's childhood home was this Victorian semi in the village of Bradfield Southend. Bought by her parents in 1979 for £35,000. It was a humble start for a little girl destined for greater things.
In those days, Carol and Michael Middleton didn't have pots of money. Carol trained as an air hostess and was working for British Airways, and Michael was a flight dispatcher. They met in the 70s at the airline and got married shortly afterwards.
The family emigrated to Jordan for Michael Middleton's work when Kate was aged just 2. When they returned to Berkshire 2 years later, she was enrolled in the local prep school St Andrews at Pangbourne.
She went to Brownies, she'd be part of after-school clubs. She really excelled on the netball court.
Her teachers say that she was very studious. Her school friends and acquaintances say that she was sporty, that essentially she was a pretty nice girl. The most critical thing I've heard about her is perhaps she was a bit goody two-shoes.
Like every good middle-class girl, Kate was sent for piano classes.
I met Kate when she was 11. She came for piano lessons between the ages of 11 and 13. She was actually very confident. She was very bubbly, a lovely person to teach. She was always very loquacious. She was always talking and having fun in her lessons. I don't think anybody ever thought she was going to be a concert pianist, but she was good. She happens to be a future princess and a future queen, but at the time she was just another girl.
Perhaps not a concert pianist, but at the age of 13, Kate did manage to land a starring role in Murder at the Red Barn, a school play in which she was proposed to by a young gentleman called William.
I wish to marry you.
To marry me?
Will you, Mariah?
Is we all I'd ever longed for.
She was very nice. She was quite shy. She was sort of kept herself to herself, really. But lovely, lovely girl. I think everybody liked her.
To marry me.
She wasn't the one that all the boys went for at the time. Probably because she was a bit taller, I think, maybe. I don't know. Does that put some men off? Probably. I don't know.
Oh, how my heart flutters.
She hasn't really changed that much, I don't think, and certainly her personality doesn't appear to have changed that much since I was in primary school.
Prince William would also spend his early years performing for the cameras. But this was a very different childhood to the middle-class normality enjoyed by Kate Middleton.
You know you go, you don't gotta worry.
Photo calls were a part of everyday life for the young prince. And whether he liked it or not, his every move was front-page news.
This was the golden child, this was the pictures everybody wanted.
Look through that. You can see things going on inside it. Look, you see the faces. The people in there. There you are. Ooh.
Everybody was taking pictures of him because, he was the little star.
There was soon to be a new addition to the family, younger brother Harry. And at the age of 4, William's education began at Wetherby School in West London.
His first day at school, which I recall quite vividly, we left Kensington Palace and we got in the car and Diana said to him, now, William, this is a very important day in your life, so you need to be very careful. And he said, what do you mean? He said, well, she said, there are going to be lots of photographers there. And he said in this sort of just William way, I don't like photographers. Yeah, I know, but you've got to get used to it, William, said Diana. This little kid said to William, excuse me, is it true that you know the Queen? And William sort of just looked at him and said, Don't you mean Granny?
I remember one picture I've got, in fact, he's going to run on the polo field, his nanny's grabbed him and she's scolding him, and William's face creases into tears. And I remember what happened afterwards. He ran to his mother and she sat him on his lap and she soothed him.
As time moved on, William was obviously very aware of who he was. You know, he sort of chauffeured the school, he lived in a big house. It didn't take too much to realise that there was something rather special about him. But to his credit, and certainly to the credit of his mother, she tried desperately to make sure that he had as normal as an upbringing within that royal line as possible.
She went about this in quite a regimented fashion. She said there will be play days and work days. And on play days, the boys, from a very young age, were allowed to put a pair of jeans on, a T-shirt, baseball cap, you know, behave like ordinary young men. And they loved it, absolutely loved it.
Diana would take William and Harry to McDonald's, theme parks, Thorpe Park, Alton Towers, whatever. We even went on the tube and the underground and the London bus. This was Diana's idea of saying, well, look, this is what normal, everyday people do.
My experience of Princess Diana was that she was a sort of princess in how she behaved when she was working. But at home, she was just like the rest of us. When she came to us, she did the washing up, she mucked about, you know, made jokes. So I think that's what her sons must have always seen.
But even at an early age, William was starting to realise the challenges that lay ahead.
I remember sitting with Diana in her drawing room at Kensington Palace, and whenever we chatted there'd be pictures of the boys all around. She looked at William's picture and she said, he does feel the burden already on his shoulders that one day he'll be king. And I think that has been a characteristic of him throughout.
In the eyes of the paparazzi or the tabloid press, if there's a better story than a royal marriage, it's a royal marriage in chaos and crisis and breaking down.
We did have, obviously, a few posters on the wall of boys. She had Prince Harry and Prince William, but Prince William was the big poster.